application. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
Hello and welcome. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of feedback on my own noise. I would so much have liked to have my image on tonight so that you could actually sit and watch in the background down in the corner there, the wonderful city skyline of Dubai. But I'm going to have to clear out some details on an RTMP server in order for that to happen. So we'll be waiting a bit of time for that. Other than that, many things have changed already since last week's broadcast. Let me just clear out a few technical details here. I have to go monitor off on my own voice so that I don't get repeated back to myself. So, for those who've been following, you have we've changed the way or the cars in the race yet again. We've set up for an official license, Studio 397, so that we are now officially licensed for the race, and that entails having to run the McLaren Senna supposed hypercar instead of the LMP1. So in order to make that work, we moved all of the existing LMP1 sign-ups over to the hypercar class, and there are still, I think, is it four cars available in the hypercar class, and the teams that get to race those will be the fastest teams able to put up 8 consecutive lap times over 2 sessions here. I think it's starting from next Friday already, and then 2 Fridays. One Friday we'll have a testing session in daylight. The other will have a testing session in the night. And 2 drivers from each team has to put up 8 consecutive laps in each session, and the average of those lap times will then determine what team gets to race, what teams get to race in the hypercar class. So that's the way it's set up, and I'm very sorry that it all had to be on Fridays again, as we are the organizers, and that is the only day that we actually have the time to actually do this live broadcasting and manage the servers and everything. That's the only day we can do it, so we don't have it. Even though we wanted to do it differently, we really don't have a choice. So I am hoping to be later here to be joined by John as well. And I might be joined by other members of the GTR24h organization. I'm having my lovely wife struggle at home to get the Restream computer up and running so that you can get an image. Have to give her a bit of explanation here on where to find stuff. Now, the internet connection here in Dubai is very, very filtered indeed. And it is actually a small miracle that it lets me get on to TeamSpeak here. Even so, and I'm remote desktoping onto the stream computer and trying to control it from here. And yeah, there's a little bit of delay, but I can see what is going on track. And yeah, there's still stuff that needs to be restarted here because my lovely wife made a mistake and pulled the the power for this streaming computer 12 minutes ahead of when we were supposed to go live. So I had a bit of a stressful time trying to get everything ready and running again. You can see her there actually in the picture, bowing down and trying to follow the cords around. She's working and working and trying to follow the power cords. She is doing her best, but I can't give her any instructions, and we actually also trying to do a video call and everything to like have me show her where the power cords is and check that the network cabling was okay and everything, but it's not possible. It's actually not the restrictions of the internet here that's the worst. It's actually the way they try to restrict internet communications to kind of force people onto their telephone network. So from most places, things like Skype, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, everything like that, all of it works fine until you make a call. And that doesn't matter if it's just a voice call or a video call or anything, but all of that just most of the time is completely blocked. From most of the business zones, it's possible to do Skype video calls, but I'm in a holiday rental apartment right now, and from here, it's not possible. Image seems frozen here. Oh, we are totally slaved, by the way, to AutoCam today. I have absolutely no way of controlling the camera. So if AutoCam thinks it's interesting to watch somebody in the pit lane, then there's really not very much that I can do about it. I'll try and get the driver names running at the bottom. All right, now I'm trying to set up a second restream account as well to try and see if we can get the image through later. But you can see the studio is empty. There's no one there except my wonderful wife trying to help us out, get the camera rolling, to get my image from here rolling. But I don't think we have any high hopes left for that, as the computer that's supposed to run that doesn't really seem to want to cooperate. $3:59 today's fastest lap time for the GT3 cars. I think during the week there was a bit of BOP as well for the GT3 cars. So maybe they BOP'd some of the GT3 cars as well. Sorry, but we don't have that information. 8 GT3 cars on track at the moment. 2 GTE cars. Oh, one of them by the DMD SimSport guys. It's Magnus Berggren. I do not know who Yondola is. That's even the name. Sorry if I murdered that. So far, this is the problem. There might be hypercars on track, but it'll be impossible for me to tell because the hypercars is still not part of the timing system since, yeah, right after last week's broadcast, I had to first attend a wedding and then travel directly here to Dubai. So no chance of me updating that. I'm going to update timing now, and I'm going to see if we can update the timing overlay. But the connection here is starting to get really bugged on. It was even hard for me to see what the cars are doing on track. I'm actually only getting the delayed image right now from the stream itself that I have running on a tablet here beside me, in order to just test the sound and see that everything is the way it should be. And it actually doesn't seem like we have sound on the HP computer, so we don't have sound from the machine that's running the game. Okay, that is a hypercar on screen, and we're not getting any timing from that. I'll work on it. We'll get the details sorted out, but it's hard work running from here via remote desktop. I have no idea if this is working. Yeah, that did seem to get the driver names, and actually the correct driver names as well, on the screen. And I seem to have fixed my screen issues as well, so now I have a chance of watching this at least. Well, I'll continue working on the okay. Try to set up the restream account so you can get an image from down here as well, which would be very nice. Okay. This is going to be hard work getting this to work. But maybe it will. I'm not promising anything. You'll excuse me for just being quiet for a few moments. I'm sorry about that. As we see some of the nightmare guys rolling around the track. Okay. This is going to be flaky at best, but I have an idea of how to do this now. It would have been much easier if the if my own server was just online. That would have helped a lot. But this works. I think it will be just as good. I don't know about the delay though. There might be a bit of delay. Okay, it is at least getting a stream through at it's a 1280 by 720p stream at 4000 kilobits per second. That's actually not that bad. That might actually even work. Now it's going to look weird because the stream might lag a bit or be behind with the words I'm actually saying. But we'll try and work around that. But we should be able to pick up from the Restream server as well. So I should be able to put this into a web browser and then get the same stream that I'm actually pushing. Okay, that didn't work. Do I have VLC player on this? No? Okay, so for me, in order to test this, I need to download the VLC player first and install that. That's 40 megabytes with 500 kilobytes per second, and less than that, even 300, because I am live streaming now and we're going through at 13 FPS. That'll help as soon as I stop downloading as well. It's onto the stream. So DLC video source. I'll try. It doesn't seem like this is going through. It doesn't seem like a way that you can actually use this. But there's still hope. There's still other ways to do it. There are still other ways to do it. This is, by the way, completely like some sort of hack. Is it possible to open this live stream? No, it isn't. Then we have to stream it to something in order to make it work. It's not enough that we are picking it up and sending it. Actually have to stream it to something. This will never be easy. Possible to make this like full screen or I am seriously considering many different ways of doing this right now. Okay, second option, because this doesn't seem like it wants to work. And I have to sort out the sound from the gaming computer as well. A lot of things going on. And if we can, for a while, or a short while, ignore the fact that at the beginning of the commercials it says that it is the Spa-Francorchamps race. Then it actually is about time for a commercial break. So I'll be right back after.
communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
I am really hard
trying to make this work. Hey, it actually, I think this works. Hey, that's crazy. Okay. Okay, you got my sound twice now. Had to work on that. Do I just mute myself on the image?
Oh, we may have a lot of repeat noise going on here. Come on, stop it now. Yes. Sorry about the sounds and everything, the bad sounds. It's all fixed now, I think. Then we just need... Okay, that's strange that this would work. I wouldn't actually think that this was a way to make it work, but it seems it is. Okay, then we need to put this on a separate screen, which could actually be quite a hard task. Try and get set up. It's not really like it's cooperating. Like if I should ever make this work, I had to do it as a window capture. I'm getting a black screen. It's not like the window capture wants to cooperate. Okay. So as I suspect, this has to be a screen capture, and then I have to move this onto a completely different screen on this machine, which is kind of hard to do. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. This will be fun. So screen 2 already exists. Then let's use that and see if this is actually... No, that's not screen 2. That's screen 1. Like now we're seeing ourselves here, and it's even set to display 1. So why would it do that? Look, hi, here I am. It does work. Okay, let's crop it so that we don't get all the business going on around me here. We're not caring. We don't care about that. Okay, so this is from inside the apartment. Let's crop it until it's almost like 9:16. Put me down in the corner where I belong. There we go. Okay, so let's turn me off for now, and I'll set this up properly, and you can have a bit of a surprise by then. Great with the wireless here. I walk away from the computer and set everything up properly, even without you guys losing my annoying voice. So, trying to get that lovely Dubai skyline on the camera here in my background. Then I'll be moving my laptop. Well, and that's tied up with a lot of cords for a lot of charging stuff here behind me. So this is not going to be an easy one. This is the tough part now. Okay. Disconnect everything other than the laptop. Okay. Or maybe even disconnect the laptop and hope that it stays online. It is a brand new Asus Republic of Gamers laptop that I am really, really happy about. It is highly efficient, and I really, really like it. Okay, I have to disconnect everything anyhow, so let's do it. Okay, that didn't seem to trigger anything strange. Sorry to do all this moving around. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. And much less do you even want to see what I'm doing. It is quite a mess around here now. Managed to make a mess of this apartment even just being here for like 4 hours or something. Okay, so this is like the proper stuff now. Yes. Quite lovely setup now. I'll just get the tablet, put that somewhere where I'm able to actually see what's on the stream. Okay, now I'm out in the heat, and even though it hasn't been that bad while I've been here, it is still this late at night. It's something like 38, 39 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it is quite hot. I'm gonna need my Coke from the fridge. Here we go. I'll give you an image. Don't worry. Okay, here comes the fun part. Hello. That is actually surprisingly live. Like, I could sit and count now when I'm waving my finger, and it's not a second delayed. So that is actually quite impressive. Cheers, guys. Goodbye, downtown. Welcome. Is it getting lighter and lighter on the server? It started out in the dark, and now it's getting light again. Morning time, coming to the Circuit de la Sarthe, as the guys are doing their practice runs. Loads of GT3 cars on the server. Really, the game really looking its best here, as we are approaching the Endurance E-Racing World Championship fast. There is only about 2 months now remaining before the big event, or actually there is only 2 months remaining. Tomorrow will be the 24th, and then it's 2 months until the event. See if my cords can make it all the way over here. Yeah, there we go. You get the lovely EEWC logo on my laptop here as well. Will the mouse work on this chair? Yes, it will as well. Okay. That's a little bit troublesome. I want to move this until it has the correct precision, like overlapping entirely the stuff behind it. That's not it. There are people writing stuff right now on the chat that I can't see because I'm on remote desktop on a completely different machine. Very sorry about that. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get some of the other guys to join the stream. Oh, see what. Yeah, I think Nick O'Neill might be joining later. Yes. And have to get the link for the guys for that Google Meet thing we have running here. And then of course I have to approve people as they come in, and then again mute them as well. Wow, I would have liked to known that we're going to work from this this internet connection, because then I would use that, guide my lovely wife to find the correct chords and how to turn on the machine so that we didn't even need to use this. So let's try and check out the lap times, because as usual, I have a way around things. Like you can do the same. You can like to get the lap times for the hypercars. You can visit simutils.dk, simutils.dk, and then select on their front page. There's a list of drivers, and the top one should be timing client, and you click on that one, and it'll get the timing from the timing client right now. And you can see actually that Roy de Munk is in one of the McLaren Senna GTR hypercars. He's done 4 laps. His best lap time currently today is a 3:25.906. Jamie Tatui. It must be Jamie Tatui, yeah. He's done a 3:26.211. I don't know what team he is part of, but I think for sure part of one of the teams that are participating. The DSR Nightmare car is currently the fastest GT3 car with a 3:57.891. Ooh, that's fast. And like the guy said on the chat, no BOP yet for the no BOP yet for the GT3 cars. Fastest GTE car is the brand new Aston Martin Vantage GTE car driven by John Dola with a 3:59.477. But other than that, you have to go all the way down to 14th place to get, no, sorry, that'll be 10th place to get the fastest GT or second fastest GTE car, which is currently driven by Michael Peterson. His best lap time is a 4:05.422, which is well off, 8 seconds off the fastest GT3 car. So it seems like the BOP between the GTE and GT3 cars is indeed completely out of kilt. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the guys have to work on that. Cora Hormer is okay. So Cora Hormer is disqualified in some way because he didn't fix his lights. Okay, I'll have John look at that, but anytime you have errors like that, do not contact me, do not contact the live stream, do not contact any person privately, because when you do, it is only that single person that's capable of helping you. If you instead go to the GTR24h Facebook page and use the chat option, the message option, or go to the website and open up the chat icon at the bottom corner of the website, then everyone at the GTR24h will be able to read your message and everyone will be able to help you. So much better solution. Like, you're only singling it down and making it harder every time you contact a person privately instead of going the direct way to GTR24h. That is continuously a problem, and I'm kind of left for words on how to make people understand this. So if you've got any suggestions on how the wording should be to make people understand that it's much more efficient to contact the GTR24h Facebook page instead of contacting any one of the GTR24h organization members directly. Please do tell me. I've been looking for that solution for years now. Okay, so Don C asking if I'm down here buying up oil for the event. No, the oil is completely CO2 neutral this year. We are working as well with a company that will help us by planting brand new forest for the amount of CO2 that the participants will be using when they travel to the event. Cat JB, thanks for following. Big thumbs up. The whole idea is that we actually want to prove that it is possible to make a proper racing event without emitting anything, basically. All of the power at the event will be coming from wind turbine power generated in Denmark, and if there's no wind, the power will be coming from Norway in the form of hydropower. Of course, hydropower made by all the big dams that they have in Norway. So no oil. We try actually to use as little oil as possible. Wow, the cars do look great in the morning light here as we are following Roy de Munk in one of the hypercars. So 28 viewers I get from the restream chat here. Only 10 of them on Twitch right now. Sorry, we can't get the viewer numbers from the Facebook streams, but quite a lot of viewers on Facebook at the moment, and still only climbing. So welcome everybody. Thanks for watching. We will have at least we will have John with us in a moment, and if any one of the teams want to be on stream and talk a little bit about their efforts as well, are broadcasting directly from the broadcast channel on the TeamSpeak server, so feel free to come and join me in the studio. And by the way, again, talking about contacting GTR24h and getting in contact with us if you have issues. We actually have our new Italian guy, Luca D'Amelio, checking out the Facebook chat and other social media platforms as well, so that his job is to answer questions. So there will always be someone with you shortly if you try to contact us. Keep that in mind. Just use the official channels. Okay, it says John is here. Or did you join the Google Meet thing? Yeah, I think you did. Okay, we have to. I have to control this. Oh, the remote desktop is painfully slow right now. I'm sorry, John, if you're added to the chat. I have no way. You need for audio still. You need to go on TeamSpeak because I don't hear the audio from the Google Meet thing. That's running off of my mobile phone, which I don't have any audio on right now. So I think I need to clear you for access on this Google Meet thing so we can get your camera. But that's hard. The image is. I'm still working on this. Okay, there's no one waiting in line here to join the meeting. So if Fred is joined, I don't know what he's joined with. Okay, if no camera, then... Okay, John, if you're listening to the screen, if you don't have a camera, don't bother joining the Google Meet. Just join the broadcast channel on the TeamSpeak server. Yeah. We are joined by Jonas Dubo here. Let's try and grant this guy talk powers and see what he has to say. Okay, so that was actually John, or who was it? Okay, I'm getting confused now. Guys changing name. You're talking, but I'm getting no audio for some reason. Okay, I need to check that the audio out is actually playing back on my headphones. Could you try saying something again, John? It's not playing back on my headphones. I'm not getting the audio. It's simply not playing. It should be playing, but it isn't. I've had the same problem earlier today. The Jabra headset, when it's been connected to more units, it seemed to have some kind of weird problem in its software that really seems to get it very confused about what to do. Okay, we'll go for a short commercial break. If you can ignore that the commercial break says that it's the Spa-Francorchamps race, it is not. This official practice for the Endurance E-Racing World Championship coming up the last weekend in October from Viborg, Denmark. So we'll be right back after this.
Communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
Hello. I think it works now. Maybe. Or maybe not. I have no idea of knowing. Can't hear myself. John, are you there? I'm not getting anything from you either. Nothing. And actually, someone's saying hello somewhere far away. Okay, at least I'm back on live stream, but I don't know if I have sound from this computer. Reasons unknown. So John, could you please try and say something so that I can see if I can actually hear what someone on TeamSpeak is saying? That would be mighty, mighty helpful. Okay, so you went out of the channel and back again, even though you're not admin. So that, of course, removes your talk power. So, yeah. Great work. Now you went out of the channel. I can't grant you talk power. Went out of the channel. Okay, I need to move back and grant you talk power. Then there we go. Now you have the talk power, buddy.
Hello, Peter.
Yeah, it's lighting up, but TeamSpeak doesn't want to, like, it doesn't want to send. I don't like the playback. Just doesn't want to work.
Should be working right now.
Yeah, your voice was fine. Now I can hear you as well. It's the Jabra headset that doesn't want to work with this computer. It's just like, yeah, you know how the Jabra is once it gets connected to several devices.
You need to disable the
I
Bluetooth.
I went Bluetooth off on everything.
Yeah. Anyhow, I guess you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just try and check out how that is on the live stream, but I'm not remote desktop into because
I will track that for you. Give me a second.
You want to hear the crazy thing? When the audio went down on this computer, everything went down that had anything to do with audio. So it just cut off and killed everything. It killed TeamViewer. It killed all of it.
Yeah, the sound is fine on live stream. Both of us is
I can
pretty
hear.
much
I
fine.
can hear that. Okay, I can hear that in the.
Yeah.
Okay, so
anyhow, let's try.
Wow, how does it do this?
Yeah, there's nobody in the studio. It's quite fun, but the voice is there. Yeah. Anyhow, let's start by talking a little bit about the coming EVC event.
Yeah. And do, like, out there, if you have questions, put it up on the chat. I've got.
We will, of course, very much like to answer your question if you should have any kind of questions for the event.
I'm monitoring the chat on Twitch, the YouTube channel, Periscope. It was monitoring on Discord, on the Discord channel as well, but that is somehow stopped. It's watching this. It's monitoring the stream in the GTR24h community and the stream on the official page, and it's actually watching on. I don't even know what service that is, but somewhere else. So we got most of it coming in, no matter where you write. So give us the questions. John, anything you wanted? You said you wanted to talk about the event, so go ahead.
Yeah. First and foremost is that the EVC Endurance E-Racing World Championship this coming October is gonna be something out of this world for many teams who actually used to participate at GTR24h event over the years. And last year in Middelfart, we got a small portion of what we're actually reaching for the event. So when basically most of the teams actually arrive at the event this year, they will actually notice the size of the entire event as a whole. What actually is going to be way different this time around is that what normally would be only focusing on drivers and teams and the sport itself, we will also have a lot of other stuff going on at the venue. Um, Basically, there will be booths outside from different companies. There would be a local go-kart track. There will be stuff to do for smaller children if they want to, have some kind of entertainment there. There will be good places to eat, local shops around the area. Yeah, there's a camping site now sorted as well. There will be lots of different stuff to do around the event. Like you can also go bowling if you're tired of racing. Yeah, there's pretty much a lot of stuff going on at the event this time around. So what we're actually trying to do right now is basically to make it a motorsport festival rather than just the EVC race as well. So that means that if you're a motorsport fan, even if you're not into sim racing for the moment, it will of course give you a lot of good stuff by coming there. And we have also some very, very popular lectures from some of the very high profile motorsport how can you say drivers from the entire world actually coming to our
Yeah,
event.
can you mention some of those guys that we've already booked and already have agreements with, John?
Am I allowed to?
I think the ones that we've already booked and that are already in payment is I think those would be okay to mention. Okay, so now I'm sorry about that. rFactor 2 just crashed on the streaming PC, so I'll have to remote desktop into that and boot that up again. So it crashed while I wasn't even on the machine, so that's actually quite annoying. Sorry for that.
That's what you get when you work from Dubai and your office is like 10,000 kilometers away.
I don't think rFactor 2 crashing on a local machine in Denmark has anything to do with me being in Dubai.
No,
honestly.
I know that, but that's how it actually reacts to you away from the studio. It got angry at you because you're not
maybe
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah. Anyhow, but while we wait by Peter actually rebooting the PC and getting everything up and running like the game or whatever it is, we were actually talking about the EVC event this time around. As we're trying to do a motorsport festival, there will of course be different kind of lectures from different kind of motorsport drivers who are famous. I can though say something about some of the names. There's one guy I wouldn't like to mention in this live stream right now because his name is so big. So it's just has to be a little more than a secret right now for time being. But just let's say this guy
And now, John, you already kind of revealed it.
yeah, but I won't say it by name. But no. But it's gonna be great seeing him there, and it's gonna be excellent having him there, and it's gonna be even better to hear his opinion about what we are doing.
Yeah, that'll be
So
fun.
yeah, and also what I'm actually looking most forward to hear that guy's opinion about how realistic he finds this event to be.
Yeah, let's get him in. Let's get him in one of the simulators with full VR and see what he has to say about it.
Yeah, that's the general idea. One of the names I can though reveal is Nikolai Møller Madsen, who is the GT4 European champion. He will be he will be at the event. Sorry, doing lectures.
This TeamViewer video is
we will have Danish very successful driver Jason Watt there. He's gonna do lectures as well in the VIP room for all the VIP guests.
And of course, as far as I know, his son Noah Watt is going to be driving.
He's gonna drive
the
there.
race
So
as well.
basically, that might be one of the things he actually accepted the deal. I don't know, but still, he's gonna be there. And we have also a famous sim racer there and a real motorsport driver there, which we are also
Okay.
quite fond of.
I'm pretty much done with this now, because soon
Um,
as I disconnect from that server, it seems to be able to run for like 5 seconds or something like that, then it crashes again. Okay, Don C is asking if it's allowed for teams to bring their own 3x3 meter tents with their sponsors on it, and yes, it is. We
It
would
is.
just very, very much like to know, like, give us a message on the Facebook page so that we can make a note that this team is bringing their own stuff. But every team
that will be something,
is,
yeah.
yeah, you're more than allowed to bring your own stuff. Actually, I would like to say we would like to encourage the teams to bring their own tents and their own stuff. Like last year, we were imagining teams having even like these sort of scaffolding things, you know, put up with all of their stuff and everything. Like, yeah, go crazy, make your pit tents, whatever you want.
Make your own house, basically.
Yeah, if you want to, do it. Just
Bring
if you
your
need extra,
sofas.
if you need extra power, like more than 1,000 watts, please tell us that as well, because we will have to change the power plants or make special arrangements for that.
Yeah. And going back to the lectures where we spoke about before, just to finish it off, we will of course have a famous sim racer there and a famous driver which are doing very well on the NASCAR Wheeling Euro Series, and that's actually Lasse Sørensen. He's gonna be there.
Yes.
So we're actually looking quite forward to that. And thank you for taking the job as a guy who wants to do a lecture for others to follow. So yeah, we're looking very much forward to that, Lasse. So yeah.
Do you think he fancies his chances in the GT this year as well?
I think so. He will. Yeah. He's a GT guy.
Have you seen any of his teammates? Do you know who he's going to be driving with?
No. Actually, it's not true. We have an unofficial list of all the names who's going to participate at the GTR24h EEWC Endurance. Yeah. E-Racing World Championship.
Yeah.
So yes, we have a list.
Okay, this is hot, John. This is getting, like, even though it's colder now, it feels like it's getting hotter because it's getting more and more and more and more humid here.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because EEWC is getting closer and closer. And you know how my stress is because of that right now. It's just insane.
I'm not kidding you. I'm at the porch here, and it's 39 degrees at the moment.
And in fully darkness. Wow.
I'm guessing the humidity now is up close to 100% now.
That's insane.
It's getting so bad that it's kind of getting hazy. Watching or looking towards the inner city here.
Yeah. You got a nice view though. It's better than my view.
This I think is better than the view of most people. I would say. Like, it's crazy watching towards the. Like, I have the full view of most of the skyline right now. The only thing I can't watch over to the Burj Khalifa, because that's straight on the opposite side of this building.
Yeah.
But everything west of that, I'm actually able to see. I'll try.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to test out.
I actually never been to Dubai. That's one of my things I would very much like to try over the years. It's an interesting place. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
is
you know
there something more we want to disclose about
the concept of Dubai, John? Do you know why Dubai exists?
Not really, to be honest. Maybe the interest is not there.
No, it's actually based on real estate. And this is a funny thing. Like, the whole concept is you get a lot of people to build a lot of apartments. You then get a lot of people that buy the apartments and rent those to the guys building the new apartments.
Ah, extraordinary. So very smart.
At like maybe 30% of these apartments is rented by workers building new apartments. And the rest of it is like people coming here to work, because there's a lot of companies that come here to build the apartments, and there's a lot of like building the apartments has a lot of like secondary industry going on, like even down to the business that I'm doing, like selling cars. Is
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes on as well, because everyone here needs something to drive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, all that spin-off stuff, and then when you get all these buildings and everything, and they build nice stuff as well, tourists wants to come and see it. So now you got tourists renting apartments as well, and that raises the requirements for more apartments, and then you build more apartments, more people come, more tourists come, more businessmen come, it just keeps climbing. As long as they keep building new apartments, it'll keep growing.
Yeah.
Weird thing. Really, and it's in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
It's like a month prior to this, it's impossible to be here outdoors. You can't walk outdoors. It's 45, 50 degrees C.
Yeah. I don't prefer living in such a country. It's too hot for me, to be honest. I like warm weather and nice sunny weather and stuff like that, but that's 50 degrees is too much, to be honest.
It's not even hot. It's beyond hot. It's like living in an oven.
I don't find that fun. Anyhow, could we like take the stream back to what is this all about, the EVC event and racing?
Of course.
And
Of course.
it's always great to hear from you when you are finally out traveling, Peter, in Dubai. But
it's
still,
far away though.
Yeah, it's still good. Yeah, and bringing back to the EVC event, there's gonna be like internal competitions for audience who are actually visiting the show, where they can have, or actually they can win specific prizes and stuff like that, which is gonna be handled by Vibor, the venue, how can you say, owner. There's gonna be special, can you say, kind of activities which gonna make it more fun to be at the EVC. Yeah.
I'm getting
There's gonna be a lot
by
of stuff there. Which
one of the BMWs.
when
It's
we
a
get
black BMW in second. It's the B32 racing BMW that had a big crash down at the Indianapolis corner.
yeah, there's one of us been there. No rear wing now.
Nope. Back to the
Nope.
garage, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, new car. You can't do that in real life, though. That's the good thing
No.
about sim racing.
I don't know what a rear wing
Press
on a
escape,
BMW.
new car.
Yeah, I don't
No
know what a rear
repair
wing on a
cost.
BMW M6 like that costs in real life, but it's not going to be cheap. It's full on carbon.
Yeah, it is. I actually haven't tried the new hybrid car from McLaren, but it will be great to try it out. So I really haven't had that much time because of all the planning and stuff for the event. It's just been a mess, to be honest. For the last 7 days, it's just been all over me. Very like 3 to 4 hours of sleep and stuff like that every day. Is just too much to do right now.
Yeah.
And it's a good sign. It's the sign of we are moving in the right direction, and the bigger stuff with the big contracts are now coming in, and we wanted to finalize them, and it is taking quite a lot of effort to get where we are right now.
Yeah.
We are so close to so many big things, and if that goes through, the entire EVC event will explode in 2020. In maybe already in 2019. So for the teams participating right now, it's gonna be just for the name itself and the exposure. It's just gonna be something that will help a lot of teams out. So if you leave out
deals in place now that will make the event like, if you thought it was big last year in Middelfart, I can say that it's at least twice as big, if not more, this year.
Yeah. What we're also experiencing right now is the entire industry and how they look at us and their reaction to it. And when they find out that we keep improving the quality of the live stream, the commentary and stuff like that, they are getting more and more keen on working with us. we can see actually for the first time, even though we have been speaking with those guys over the years, the last 3 years, everything from Porsche to Aston Martin to McLaren and stuff like that, the interest is there.
Yes,
and
certainly.
it is building up slowly, but it takes time.
Yeah.
Basically, most of the car manufacturers have their own esport line, but when they see this combination of all of the things put into one big event as such as ours, a world championship, what it actually is.
Yeah, but right
the
now the
interest is there.
policy, like right now the policy for most of the car manufacturers is that they want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
And that'll be a problem for them, but they don't realize that yet, because you don't just build reputation in an event like this. And that's not to pat myself on my back, that's to as well pat the guys that's been handling GTR24h all the way up to now. Like, you know as well, John, that we've been at this since 2007.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and
so
that's
just
what
to
that's
build,
actually even before
that knowledge
people
and reputation
talked about
and everything
esport.
about, yeah, to build that knowledge and reputation around an event isn't something that you just go ahead and do.
No,
it takes time.
Yeah, and marketing and resources and money and time, basically mostly time. There's nothing for free.
I think
this
what we
world.
have, I think most of what we have that other people don't just have is the concept. It's like the concept of how to do it. It's very, very well polished. We've worked for years and years and years to try and make the best event for the competitors and the participants. Those have, like, the participants have been in focus since 2007 all the way up to 2017. So 2017 we tried to like build on top of that and tried to contact partners and try to make it as much of a PR event as we could, because once we get like eyeballs on this and once it gets interesting enough for people to sit at home and watch, then it will start creating even more opportunities for the sim racing teams and the whole sim racing community as well, because now it's possible to attract big sponsors and to get money, and then it'll be possible to buy better equipment. Like you saw the guys at B32 having built their own club around this. They have the location, the equipment and everything, and they take this racing very, very seriously.
Yeah, it's like any esport team out there. B32 is actually a good way of describing how it should be for most teams.
At the Anage corner. Sorry, John.
No problem.
In the background, there are a lot of cars crashing into each other. One of the cars missed the braking point, went wide in the Anage corner, then tried to come back on track, and he actually did the right thing. He stopped the car and didn't go back on track, but yeah, other cars behind them just couldn't get around that car and yeah, pile up. Well, wow.
Yeah. I can reveal something which is quite cool. Last year we had 3 commentators for the commentary team. It seems this time around we will be 6 there will actually be 3 new commentators at the show. Maybe a 4th. Actually, it's 4 new commentators to the show this time around. Yeah. It is 5 actually. 5 new commentators to the show. Nick will be coming back, Nick Newcomb. We will have Neil, of course, who's never been at the EEWC. He's gonna join in. And then we have 4 other peoples coming, which we will be revealing next Friday. Then everything should be in order.
Hope some of them will be able to join us on the live stream and introduce themselves as well. That would be
that
would be really nice.
Great.
But yeah, we'll see what we can do. And we've got our new social media manager. He'll be joining the event as well.
No, he won't.
He won't?
Nope. Luca did not manage to. I think either was getting time off. He couldn't really make it happen because of timing and stuff, which is a pity because he's a great guy. But basically, that's how it is sometime in life. And he still want to help us out though from home. Yeah. But yeah.
And maybe another thing, John, on that note, we've opened up and we've made sort of a press area.
Yeah,
we've created this. We've been invited like a lot of esport press and a lot of like in general IT press and other guys, just stuff that people that John knew from from his time in on his hardware magazine. And I guess a lot of the other guys as well, John. I don't even know who.
Yeah,
you emailed.
I contacted a lot of gaming related magazines and stuff
Yeah.
like that around the world, and letting them know they're more than welcome to join in as a press member for the event. And since they create a lot of exposure and stuff like impressions and stuff like that from their own media, they're gonna do stuff in regards to our event. So that will of course help the team quite a lot, because that will actually extend the knowledge of your name and stuff like that as a team. So I think there's a lot of good things coming to the event, especially 2019 will make it different. 2020 will be out of this world for many teams who are joining into our event. And of course, there's the exclusivity. And if you've been with us from the start, since the start of Middelfart for the first year and the second year, and you coming back, you have the exclusivity to buy the tickets earlier before most of the one actually when the tickets go live. So that means that it will be very hard for new teams to come in. So
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. If you want to compete here, you have to show like loyalty and commitment. So yeah, that's just the way we keep it for now. What's going to happen in the future, not planned, but at least for next year, it does look like we're going to continue.
We could also reveal that 50 team is a quite of a step from last year's 32 teams. Or was it 34? I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest. I'm too tired right now. But yeah, basically, from 34 to 50 teams is also quite of an achievement. I think we'll be reaching 62 teams for 2020. That's the case. We want to do a full Le Mans grid.
Yeah, but that will be 65 teams by
No,
that.
yeah,
I think
so sorry, yeah, 65.
I think
by
the
now,
real
yeah.
Le Mans is even trying to extend all the way to 80 teams.
Oh my God.
They're still trying to clear out the pit lane and figure out how they want to put the pit boxes and everything. But
That's gonna be
there's
massive.
already a lot of traffic on track right now. If you saw the real Le Mans this year, lots of cars that need to do overtaking and stuff like that. But I think the track will accommodate it. Like when you look at the maybe I should say that if something in the background sounds like someone completely firing off a Lamborghini Gallardo or Corvette or something like that, it's not something that I'm doing. It's actually a guy that's revving a Gallardo right down here on Main Street, Dubai. So
You see, that's the funny thing about being in Dubai. This is a regular car.
yeah, it just happens. Like every day you walk down the street, you see the Lamborghinis, and I even saw one of the rare Lexus LFAs yesterday.
Oh,
that sounds insane. Did you know that the LFA has a special sound tuning of the engine done by Yamaha?
Nope.
It does.
But thanks for letting us know.
The intake, the exhausts, everything is tuned to give it the most raw V10 sound you can produce. And it sounds like a dragon screaming or something like that. It's insane.
Nobody knows how a dragon is screaming, Peter. You should know that.
Okay, then try to imagine a dragon screaming. That's what the Lexus LFA sounds like.
That was too cartoonish, my friend.
Yeah. It's a cartoonish car, believe me.
It's good fun. Coming down to some of the teams, it would be great to have them on board in our live stream and maybe talk a little about what they actually do
but if
to
they
promote
join
themselves.
Right now, you have to tell me, John, because I have to give people talk rights.
Oh, okay. Are we joined by someone now?
No, we weren't. I can make you admin as well. There we go. So now you can grant people talk power as well.
Oh, okay.
It's too difficult for me now to move around to different channels, because if I move myself around, that's not gonna remove the recording client, because the recording client is the one called broadcast. So if I go somewhere, I have to drag the broadcast channel along with me, or user along with me to get it on stream. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, more questions. I dare to say yes regarding the tents. We normally put banners and all kind of stuff on them, so shouldn't do any difference. The more sponsor stuff, the better. Yes, exactly. That was in response to Don C's question about
I can
the
give.
tents.
I think I have a
Where
few
does one
ideas.
find the package to join the server? Would like to practice? Yeah, you don't. We don't publish any packages. This is all official content, and I'm afraid you're going to have to buy all of the original car packages as well as the Le Mans track. Buy that on Steam, join the server, and then you're on. So spend K UK asking.
But thanks for your interest, Ben. It's a little bit. That's how it is with official content. You need to buy all the DLCs, and you would need to buy the original game to race at the server. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And maybe on that note, there's a time to mention we've had a lot of people having these the car pack issues where it says that it needs a different mod to join the server. That's not an error that we're doing. It's nothing wrong with the server. That's the way Steam has it set up. Like the way Studio 397 and Steam did this together with the extra car packs, the way they have that set up isn't as reliable as you would want. But if you go into your inventory in Steam, you need to click your username and then click inventory. And then you need to click at the top. I think it actually says Studio 397 or something like that. Click that, and then you have all of the different packages that you've bought, like all the different cars and tracks that you bought for the game. Then you click on one of those items. Then you have a little, now this is getting difficult, but you have a little button at the right corner then to go into the workshop item of that item. And in there you can click it to unsubscribe and subscribe it again. Do that to every one of those inventory items. Like it isn't as complicated as it sounds, because it's just opening up, clicking workshop, unsubscribe, subscribe, then back and doing it again. For every one of those, maybe 10 times, maybe 12 times, something like that. Once you've done that, you can start up the game again, and it usually just works then. It's because it has to delete old versions of the cars, because somehow that creates conflicts sometimes. Yeah, Ben K says, thanks, turns out I have a center mod problem, working on fixing that. Yeah, exactly. Like, click your username, like shut down the game, click your username in Steam, click it, a drop-down menu will appear, click inventory, then click the tab with the Studio 397 content, find the center car in there, click on the workshop button for that, unsubscribe, subscribe, go back and start the game, and you should be able to get on the server. And no matter what car you have problems with, same procedure.
And sometimes you need to redo them all.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not enough just doing one, because that's
No.
just like if that's the first car it tries to load, you'll only get an error for that one. Then you need to clear that out, and then it'll be the next car that does this. But
I would also like to address a few things in regards to the team participating at the EVC event, which would be something of a like tips and tricks stuff. As it were, last year we had multiple teams having
you're going to
issues
talk about
with
cooling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that again, because I do find it very important that if you have a PC who should be running stable for 24 hours straight, you basically need to have proper cooling in your case. Sometimes it's not even enough having your case housing proper ventilated. So that means that it will always be a wise choice to open one of the sides of the case and have proper cooling pointing in the direction into the case. So it has especially better ventilation by having that. We had teams who were very superior on the driving skills. They were leading, but because of problem in related to overheating and stuff like that, they fell through the grid and had multiple issues, and just such a big pity for that team, and we don't want you guys to experience that. So basically, try as much as possible to keep your head thinking before actually participating in such event, because proper cooling, water cooling is also a great idea to have on your CPU. And even if you have a water cooling, how can you say, graphic card is even better. Sometimes I also find out that having air-cooled graphic card, it will also be great to have a fan placed on the back side of the card, because sometimes it's also overheating. And that's how it is. Just enjoy the view of Peter's Dubai trip, you lucky bastard, man. So yeah, but anyhow, cooling is essential for having a great EUC event as a team. Something related to that as well will be a fully updated Windows 10 or 7 PC. Disable all the automatic updates, and
remember to
disable
disable the
antivirus and stuff like.
notifications as well.
Yeah,
Like, I
everything
can't remember
related to
how to
that.
change. I can't remember how to change that and disable it, John. But we might have to do a video for the people.
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna do that. We're gonna do surveys on that and stuff like that. And we will as well. Oh, sorry, not survey, tutorials. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Video tutorials, and also something you need to remember. Sometimes when you're having your Internet Explorer or Google running, remember to log out of Facebook, something like that.
Yeah.
Remember when you're in TeamSpeak. Remember when you get this notification in TeamSpeak.
Can I give a piece of advice that is the one that absolutely killed all of these kind of stupid errors for us back when I was racing the event? We went and bought a separate solid state drive for the computer that we were going to run on. And then we only installed the operating system and the game and TeamSpeak and the Materials data logger. Done. Nothing more.
Very wise
And we
to
went
do that.
through the settings on that machine, I think 10 times on everything to make sure that it was just perfect.
Yeah.
Because by then, just unplug that disk. It'll have all your settings. It'll have everything the right way. Just unplug it. Go back to your regular racing and regular practicing on your usual PC. Don't touch that solid state drive. Put it somewhere safe. And don't touch it again. Then, when you need to go to the event, get that disk, get it along with you, plug that into the machine when you get at the event, and everything will just work.
And the good thing about this year's event is that we will have some proper companies there who's going to be represented at the show, which is Cooler Master and Reotoro, which are specialists in what they do. So basically, all the knowledge would be there to make
and I want to say one more thing about that, because people might be concerned, like, what if you don't do the Windows updates? What about security? What about la 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 la? We have an internet access, and we are controlling what gets into the venue. So as long as you don't download anything with a virus on it or visit web pages that will infect your machine, don't worry about your machine getting hacked or anything like that inside our network. So you don't need to do when you take this disk out of the machine and it's like 2 versions old, doesn't have Microsoft updates for Windows or something like that, don't worry about it. Just disable all of those updates and the machine will run perfectly.
Yeah.
So we're just watching Roy in the pits because autocams sometimes. I don't have a keypad on my machine, so I can't press the plus and minus keys, so we can't get to a different car.
So what you're telling me, Peter, is that you did not bring your studio to Dubai?
No. I was testing this. Like, I had this idea that the studio could be used for other things, like other than doing sim racing things. Like, we could do on location live reporting from stuff as well. And I really wanted to test that, and it was really important for me that our new RTMP server catching live streams from live cameras through 4G was up and running. But apparently it doesn't get power somehow. And yeah, people that watched the live stream at the beginning know that my wife was running all around the studio and trying to figure out why the power cord wasn't plugged and why she couldn't turn it on.
Yeah. So, coming back to the event at the EVC for teams, what would also be visible is how you brand yourself around the tent. If there would be media there, of course, such thing as roll-ups, banners, lighting, TV commercials running from your own booth as well will also be something which is very visible to get the stuff out there. Business cards maybe have something laying around. You do not know who will drop by. There might be an investor there. Since there's a lot of VIP guests there, they are actually either local companies or foreign companies coming from other countries. They might be interesting in having their own team. So it would be visible to have maybe a brochure or something like that where you have the names of the drivers, the presentation of your company and stuff like that. Have that laying around. It's always good to have it either maybe on USB keys with a USB, PowerPoint presentation, something like that. You can give out USB keys these days, like cost zero to nothing. So yeah, it should be.
On stream here, unwise. Who was that? Yeah, that's Pau again. You have to talk to him, John. He keeps doing this. He keeps overtaking and cutting in front of people, and it specifically says that's not allowed in the rules. Like, that's actually getting quite aggravating to look at. He keeps driving like it's a Formula 1 race.
Yeah, the only thing how to make him learn that is basically stop and go. So that's quite easy. I'm not the race director.
Well, people have to, like, during the event.
I'm not even doing that this time around.
If people don't know, we have a special way of dealing with issues on track. We do not do arbitrary punishments. That's to say, the race stewards won't find situations by themselves and start punishing people.
Nope.
A team has to file an incident report, and then the stewards will go and look at it. So if nobody files, even though it's illegal according to the rules, if nobody files a complaint on this kind of driving behavior, then it won't be punished.
Yeah, that's.
So I like to get this driving thing sorted out and to get people handling traffic properly like that. I can only encourage people to actually read the rules. I think we have maybe 5% of the people competing in our online events and stuff like that yet that actually read the rules. Most people don't read the rules, and there's important, detailed stuff in there that could save your race, literally.
Yeah, because you can have penalties moving against a competing team. So basically, it could be like stop and go or whatever it might be, disqualification.
Even just the fact, John, that we don't do restarts.
No.
We don't restart the server. Like, if you're not there when the race begins, like last year we had a team that wasn't able to join the server at race start, and race control did something that they shouldn't really do and postponed the start to get that team in. This won't happen this year. There will be
we cannot do that. No.
We can't do that because we're on a tight broadcast schedule, which other companies depend on being precise. We can't do that. We're going to start precisely according to time schedule. And if you're not on,
so that means that
fix your box
and fix your computer like an hour before and make sure everything is running and just join the server and
have your driver stay on the server and stay ready. I can't emphasize that enough. Stay ready. Don't come up with an idea like, oh, we haven't loaded the right setup, and you have to exit and get a USB stick and get the proper setup like that. No, you don't. It'll be more important at that point to stay on the server and not change anything. If you don't have the right setup, then okay, join the start of the session, do whatever you must do, contact the race steward, say, we haven't loaded the right setup. Can we exit the server and rejoin and get the proper setup? You may lose a couple of laps. That's less than not being in the race. If you're not in the race at the race start, you're not going to race. You might as well start packing up your things and going home.
Yeah, so that's how important it actually is to have everything settled because of all the coming stuff, and since things are not finalized yet, who is gonna do what in regards to our show? It might be a TV channel, it might be somebody who wants to do a live stream somewhere else in the world who gains a lot of traffic. Yeah, it's still just there's still like a
But
basic rule
one
for
thing is
this.
sure, or actually two things are sure. There's going to be local TV coverage of this, and there's going to be local radio coverage of it. And that's enough that we can't have the race like start 10 minutes later because someone couldn't manage to press the race button.
It's like any race. If you do not start at the start line at the beginning of the race, you're not in it.
Whoa! Oh, that's a dead guy in the background right there.
Whoa.
Did you see that? In Tête Rouge? Coming out of Tête Rouge, he like continued straight on, bang into the barriers. Yeah, it's an LP2 car. He lost control on the curbs. We're getting it in slow motion now. It's fishtailing badly, and then does the worst thing of fishtailing in reverse, and then he just goes, "Wow, that's a hard impact." That's so
Wow.
reminiscent of the impact and the way the car gets loose on the curbs and everything. It's just that's 2013 and Alan Simonson all over again. That one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big impact. And this is a later version of the track. Like this is last year's. Is it a 2018 or 2017? It's a 2017 version of the track. Yeah.
No, it's 2018 according to the track.
It's been updated. Okay.
Yeah.
That only shows that Tête Rouge is, as long as they don't cut down those trees on the outside, that corner's not a safe corner. They
Nope.
really still need to do something about that. And remember, guys watching this is a laser scanned version of the track. It'll be accurate down to something like 1.5, 2 millimeters. Even the race surface will be. That's actually one of the things. Like I was driving the hypercar around the track, and all the track versions that we've been running previously didn't have the proper crowning on the Mulsanne straight. So the top, like the middle of a public road is always higher to have the rain kind of float off or roll off the track, right? That wasn't properly done on any of those tracks. You can see even here before the corner, you can see the car crossing the crown of the track, and it sort of dips down into the corners. Never had that before this version of the track. A lot of crashes going on right now. And I can see the driver names because of this bar is in the way. Okay, so that's Jan Ringtrup Corvette. That was on the approach to the. Was that the Porsche curves? Yes, I think it was. Ooh. Okay, so the bus lanes there, the aprons besides the track, does seem to have way too much grip. Does seem to be an advantage to use that part of the track as well, which it really wouldn't be in real life because it's very, very dusty and has a lot of rubble and dust in it. 32 Racing has an incident coming out of the Dunlop chicane. Man, I wish I had a third screen right now so I could sit and check the timing.
I can be your guide there, Peter.
Yeah.
We'll open it here. 3 screens here, so.
Not a lot of comments. Not a lot of guys joining us in the studio. Well,
Should we go through the timing schedule right now? I can briefly go through the
the
entire
most
field of
interesting
cars.
things, yeah, the most interesting things going on right now is what's the fastest lap time of the hypercars.
Basically, who's leading the race right now, or the fastest car right now around the track is One Mo Esport with Roddy Munk as a best lap time of 3 minutes and 23 seconds and 469 milliseconds.
Okay, so it
Uh,
seems the track isn't rubbered in as well as it was
No,
last
and
Friday.
second place right now is Pau Linegård, who did 3:25.102, followed by Matthew de Krop at 3:42.102. Sorry.
Yeah.
Coming down
I
to the
tried that car, the hypercar, once. I did like 2 laps in the car, and it feels very, very, very much like driving a DT3 car in a sense that it's very, very easy to get a sense that you're going quick. Like it feels like you're going, like even on the default setup when you start to drive, it feels like you're going quick and you can't get any more out of the car. And then you need to just tinker little details on the setup, and you like, if you think you're pushing, you still have to push even more. The car has to be pushed so hard. You need to really attack the track to make it go fast.
Are we still having issues with the DT cars and the DT3 cars at the track right now, Peter? Because what I'm seeing right now is a bit of an.
No, I think it's driver related. I think it's practice time setup and driver related. I don't think it's the cars that much, because I know the DTE cars will still do 353, something like that. 352s if you're really good.
But the fastest DT3 car right here is 3:55.2.
Yeah.
And the second fastest GTE car is 3:55.5. So it's actually slower.
Yeah. I think that's driver related. I don't think it's
or setup related.
Yeah. The GTE cars, as far as I can make them go, the GTEs are still about 3-4 seconds faster than the GTE cars. Not much. Hard to do a proper overtake. And especially since the place that you used to do the overtaking in the GTE cars was down the straight, because the GTEs just were that little bit faster because they have that little bit more horsepower. Somehow they dumped down the horsepower, so the top speed, impossible to overtake the GT3 cars on the straights.
I also have a little bit of announcement today. We're gonna have First Esport giving one out of their team tickets to Simply Race in UK. So Simply Race is coming to the EEWC.
Yeah, First Esport had some serious issues with several of their drivers. One driver who broke his hand or foot or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And not properly recovering. And they're having problems finding drivers that really wants to do R-Factor 2 events. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So, yeah, another UK team coming to the event in Viborg is just being great to see so many foreign teams joining in from all over the world. So, yeah, it's good to have a lot of different nationalities at our show, and we also have a complete French team this year, which is also quite interesting, to be honest. And we also have a complete Italian team.
Just during this week, we had a lot of teams exchanging and some of the reserve teams being activated. So yeah, still a lot of moving around, and there's a new team on the reserve list, and stuff's happening all the time. So even though the grid is full now, don't try, like, if you want to race, still buy one of those reserve tickets, and you'll still have a chance, because there might still be teams that have to forfeit, like, for all different kinds of reasons. There's still a chance to get into the race.
I don't. How many teams actually move up from the waiting list, Peter? Was that 3 or 4? Or?
Four.
4. Okay.
The empty list, the reserve list was actually empty at one day last week. The reserve list was empty. There's a new team there now. I don't believe the website's updated with the details yet, but they are. I mean, it is registered. So
Excellent. Yeah, we have some. Actually, today we are 2 months away from the crew is gonna start setting up their stuff. Actually, it's today, Peter. I didn't know if you know that, but it's actually on the 23rd of October. We will be coming into the venue and start setting up stuff. So everything will be ready when you guys is coming into the show around the 24th of October.
Yeah.
And we also, this time around, where we actually kind of like just a little bit about the venue as well, we will be having Cisco in conjunction with Alligator, which is a Danish company, doing the network. And all the switches placed for the network will be 10 gigabits with 10 gigabit uplinks and stuff like that. So it's going to be an amazing network. And we will have either a 5 gigabit or 10 gigabit internet connection into the building. It depends on what's required and how difficult it is to set up. But there will be plenty of capacity for the teams to live stream from the event.
That is Cisco fulfilling on the agreement that we had last year, right, John?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually both, to be honest. But it's okay. We had a barter deal, and now they are fulfilling that barter deal, and of course they will do that on contract next year as well. So everything should be settled quite good for the next time being. Yeah, and also we have a electrician in to do the electricity and stuff like that to make sure there's enough power for everyone. That means actually this time around, Peter and I actually have time to do what we originally planned to do at the event.
Well, I don't have much. I won't have much time because I'll be
No.
running the live stream like the entire time. So
that's about it. We will have our own race control, so I don't have to sit there myself because I suck at it. So I'm glad you agreed on that, Peter, because I really do suck on it. So that means that there's things it's live you're good at, but I'm not good at that.
Henning Peterson is going to manage the entire team of race stewards. He is actually right now coordinating and updating different parts of the rule set, or at least delivering a few updates that we need to do. And there's also going to be an update concerning the qualification format for the event, because it turns out that at the event it is way too hard for us. We don't have the proper security that for 50 cars we can keep track of the different drivers in car to make sure that we get the proper average times of 2 drivers in 2 sessions. So in order to make sure that the qualifying result is of the quality that we want, we're going to have to change the format and do something else. And it'll be something that it will be a format. It will be a format where the times are only managed by the server, by the GTR24h Factor 2 server.
Yeah. We can also say there will be a secondary GTR24h server at the event. If it should crash at some stage, it will be ready just to join that and race on, and all the laps, because of the system we have, we can add all the laps that you had from prior the old race. So that means that you won't lose your lap, and
expect times between, like down times between restarts, if it should happen at all. We had last year's event run without any restarts. The event before that ran without any restarts, and I think the event before that as well ran without any restarts. And now I can't remember any prior events, but I believe we've run 3 years in a row without any restarts. But in the event of a restart, expect there to be like only 10 seconds downtime between like exiting one server and joining the new one. So don't expect to have like between server restarts, don't expect like, for one, it isn't allowed to change driver during those server restarts, so don't expect to be able to do that. And don't expect to be able to do other things, like don't run off to the toilet or something expecting that it'll take us quite a while to get the server up and running again, because we're not racing the same server. We're racing an already running, ready server on the network that just like, I don't know if we're just gonna plug the network cord to the different server or whatever we're gonna do physically, but it'll be there in 10 seconds after one server goes down, and as a restart registered, 10 seconds the other server will be there, and you'll expect it to be on that server within the minute. And then we're gonna do a like a formation lap restart.
And the laps will be added to your team.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And don't worry about starting from zero again, and don't worry that it'll take, like it could take anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours for us to update all of the different laps on all the different teams, but rest assured that all of that's recorded, compliments of Simitils.
Yeah, we just had that kind of issues with all the R-Factor dedicated issues. We had the last race at Spa, where we had actually a server restart because of the server actually kind of crashed on us. First time we actually experienced that. But it was actually basically related to the dedicated issues that the R-Factor team already knew, Studio 397 already knew about. So we knew that it might happen, but it unfortunately it did. But yeah, and there was also rejoin issues that's going to be fixed as well.
All of those issues, John, relate specifically to online driver changes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We don't do, there's no driver changes. There's no in-game driver changes. There's physical driver changes where one guy gets out of the sim rig and another one gets in.
Could we talk about something about the race control web radio functions coming to the event?
Yeah.
Where you're actually able to listen to the radio walking around with your mobile phone.
That's comprehensive. I am going to move TeamSpeak server to a completely different machine. That's actually the same machine that should have been running the Stream Relay server right now, because the Stream Relay server requires 1 to 2% CPU power, because all it does is just enable a data stream. We might as well use that machine since it's very, very stable and has been for years. We may as well use that as the server for all of the TeamSpeak channel, and it will then be running a piece of software that'll be listening in on each of the radio channels on TeamSpeak for each of the teams. That audio feed will be relayed into an internet audio station. So you will be able to join by typing in, I think it's radio.gtr24h.org/team name. And then you'll be able to listen in on the voice communication from TeamSpeak between those teams. Of course, that's going to be just like in Formula 1, it's delayed by a certain specific amount of time. Like it'll be not live. Just getting the audio in there and encoding that to it's encoding in I think it's 112 kilobit mono MP3 format that doesn't require any particular CPU resources to do it. But the audio quality is it sounds like listening to a guy on a telephone. It's usable. It doesn't have to be any more than that.
Oh, then you also have a chance to look in, listen into your favorite team communication and stuff like that, and what's going on sometimes when they crash the car or something like that.
Yeah, all of the links will be directly available from the live stream.
And one of the reasons for the delay, of course, is because we do not want to have other teams listening into the team radio, and just to make sure that they won't get advantage on that. So yeah, that's why it's delayed basically.
Yeah. just basically to like have other teams not know like in the future whether a car is going to go into the pits or not. So teams usually activate the team's request and stuff like that after the Anage corner, and I think it's about 30 seconds from there to the start finish line. So 20 seconds delay, something like that, will be enough to not have teams guess whether cars will be entering the pits before they actually do it. So yeah, something like 20-25 seconds delay will do. And then of course it's perfectly allowed for teams to like develop their own, like in aviation it's called brevity codes, like trying to shorten down your language and say and ask like, are we still going plan A? Code words.
That would be wiseful to do if you do not want to reveal your tactics sometimes. Yeah.
Oh,
Though
did
most
Ronnie Monk do
teams
it now
do not.
again as well? Yes, he did. That annoys me a bit since it says strictly that you're not allowed to cut in front of the slower cars like that. So it's not in a braking zone. It's not allowed. And he does it again. That's twice on the same straight.
There's particularly no reason to do that. Not
No,
at
why?
all. Doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get a better line through the corner, but he's already. Yeah. Just no. And maybe people don't realize, like with the reality of the physics in R Factor 2, I think we can like safely say it's the most realistic sim out there, bar none. If you do that, cut in front of one of the slower cars, you take away their downforce on the front of the car, and you're doing like they may only have 30% of their braking power left if you get close enough. And the only thing that'll happen is that you will get rammed from behind. Have your rear wing and rear diffuser in a garbage bag ready for you when you get to the pits, torn off to pieces.
And it's time for a beer.
Yeah. like you said, John, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you do it? It doesn't give
a lot
you
of
any
bad
real
things can
advantage.
actually happen.
Yeah. It's only asking, like, try to minimize risk. That's not the way to do it. That's not minimizing risk. Well, John, it's getting close to 1:45 down here in Dubai, so we're actually 2 hours ahead of Denmark.
Yeah,
3 hours ahead of.
We're done with
3
the
hours
live
ahead of
stream
the
in
UK.
15 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have any plans for tomorrow morning with your Dubai contacts? Are you going out or anything like that?
Yes, we are again trying to get everything sorted and get the website in the air, and we're going out on another photo shoot. So there's a lot of there's a lot of cars shipping out tomorrow, so we're gonna go and grab some video of that.
Great. Any really expensive cars going out tomorrow?
Yes.
Great.
There's a big mothership of a Mercedes CLS. And I don't know what size CLS it is, but it's certainly the biggest that I have ever seen. The car, like, we were trying to get the cars parked for the photo shoot, like 3 cars deep. And it had like this CLS in front and then an E-Class. And then I think it was a regular C200 or something behind it. And it couldn't fit, like it couldn't park in that row of cars was just pointing out it couldn't park in line, like the front row couldn't park in line with the other cars. It was like half a meter out of order with the other cars, and there was just no way to get it in there because that car was just so big. We had to change everything because of that car. We tried parking only C-classes and coupes behind it, didn't work either. It just wouldn't
You
fit.
can imagine how big that car is. Yeah. So, coming back to the final words for this live stream today, is there anything we should walk around, talk about before closing down, like in regards to the EVC event? Do we have something missing which could be interesting or informative for the teams and basically also for the audience, maybe?
Yeah, please, if you have questions, don't contact us personally. Please try and use the channels that we provide for people to contact the organization instead, because you never like. Most people think that I'm responsible for everything and can do anything. I'm not. I have like specific live timing, live stream, and that's basically it. I don't do anything else. So if you ask me about those things personally, all I can say is just please ask on the Facebook page.
Yeah, you can
Use
also
the Facebook chat.
you can also add to that line that since we now are going completely official content, it means that if you have issues with packages and issues with R Factor, you just have to find the forums and find the help somewhere else, because it's not really us having issues. It's basically software related to the game itself. Yeah, and of course, if there should be server-related things, you're more than welcome to contact us on the inbox on our Facebook page, and we will try to as much as possible to help you out there if there should be any issue with that.
Yeah, now we have specific people watching that inbox, so it's not like it'll get relayed to whoever's responsible for that particular question if Luca can't answer it. So
yeah. And since the organization right now is having a lot of stuff with sponsors and stuff like that to make the event as best as possible, of course we'll try our best to answer your questions via the inbox, but expect some time on the answers sometimes, because we're so busy with meetings and phone calls and stuff like that. There's so many stuff going on for the moment. So yeah, we can't be everywhere. We really try to as much as possible to be there. But I know as a team you might have many questions sometimes, and there's actually no stupid questions. Just expect sometimes that there will be waiting time on the answers.
yeah,
sometimes.
waiting times for answers is a thing that you're going to have to respect, because of course Luca won't be able to answer all questions. But the thing that he does is he knows what person to contact on particular issues. So if he can't answer, he knows who to contact. Yeah, and instead of getting bothered by 500 people a day trying to get right, like mostly for me, it's direct messages on Facebook, and I'm not lying when I say that when I opened up, like when I got to the plane trip down here, and when I got to my inbox, the first Wi-Fi network that I got to and opened up my Facebook inbox, I think I had 35 messages from people asking GTR24h questions, and I'm sorry, I just haven't answered you. And in the future, expect that if it's GTR24h related and you ask me personally, I just won't answer. I'm sorry, but I can't follow up on that, and I don't want to make like, I don't want to differentiate between teams and people just because that I know someone better than someone else. I don't want to do that, like be selective and answer those, and I don't have the time to answer all of you. So it's better then that I answer none, and then you go to the proper channels and
you will talk to
Peter
Peter again if there's anything issue. He'll just answer you from the inbox, basically.
Yeah.
And the same goes for me. I also getting more and more questions on my Facebook. Sometimes I really want to answer. I try as much as possible to answer, but as we are getting closer to the show, I really have to cut down on that as well, because I really do not have the time. So please use the inbox, and Luca will help with most of the stuff, and he's a great guy, so please respect him for that. And he will also point you in the right direction if there's something related to Peter and I, or Pau for that matter. So
and he's surprisingly well educated in the issues that R Factor 2 might have, like all the usual stuff with mod package problems and internet connection problems and all this kind of just the regular stuff. He knows what to do and he knows how to correct it. So, yeah. And also, I want to mention before we end the show, we are still looking for a web developer guy. So we're still looking for someone that does JavaScript, jQuery, HTML5, CSS, and knows a little bit of the of Angular or the old is it Angular 1.0 or 1.2, something like that. We have that working up against Simitils, and we really want to update, do nice stuff with our live timing, but I really don't have the time to do that. There's a payment available. Of course, also you get a small salary for your work, so it's not all volunteer work. We like to have everyone that's in contact with our organization now on a proper contract, so that we know what to expect and what to get. It's a we want to run things professionally, right, John?
Yeah, basically that's some of the things which actually have changed quite a lot with their company right now, is that we are focusing on being as much as professional as we can and try as much as possible to have the good deals and the good contract in place before doing anything actually. So that's a huge difference one where we actually were 1 year ago. So there's a lot of new stuff coming in and new partners, and that's how you have to live with that kind of way of working. So I guess that's the future from now on.
And of course, we are next year probably going to be looking for more people to help us as well. That'll be also concerning the online races. There'll be people, stewards for race control mainly. And being a steward in race control is actually something that you can do from a distance because it only requires you logging on as a spectator. So that's an option as well if you want help. You can't be a race steward and be involved in the race, so you can't have any kind of contact with any of the participating teams and then be a race steward, because we want to keep people as impartial as possible. And there's definitely always room. Like if a team wants a news article concerning the teams and their stuff, whatever they're doing, whatever they want to publish, want that published on the official GTR24h page and getting it like syndicated to our Facebook page, Twitch, and Twitter, and doing Instagram and stuff like that. If you want that platform and want to use that platform, let us know, because all we need to do is just approve the article and you get your stuff through the channels. And if you want to do interviews and want to make content around your team and what you're doing and how you're preparing, get in contact on the Facebook page, write us a message, and we'll get the right people in contact with you, and we'll set it up for you. There's just so many options for the teams right now to get their names out there and get the attention going. So whatever you want to do, just ask us and we'll make it possible. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, on that note, I don't know if we should go to a commercial stream right now, Peter, and the live stream is over for tonight, basically.
Yes.
And since this is end from now, we will be back on Friday with qualification for the McLaren Senna next Friday. So the
There's a
focus
question there, John.
Yeah.
There's a question in there.
Okay.
Do we let other classes of cars on the track at the same time as the qualifying is going on? I don't believe we've made a decision on this.
No, we haven't made a decision, but I think it would be wise not to.
I actually think the opposite. I think it will be wise too, because we want to resemble the race conditions as much as possible.
Could be. It depends. But still, there's ongoing talks right now. We're not 100%, but we will be clear on that early next week.
Certainly. But it was something
sorry
it
for
was
the
something I
layment on that, because basically
Yeah, it was
Peter
something
has
I
been in
thought about.
Dubai. So
I thought about it earlier today, and I wasn't like down here. I have to be somewhere with an open Wi-Fi or near my apartment to have internet connection, because I think it's 200 Danish per megabyte of data. If you don't have a Dubai SIM card, they just want to force you to buy a local SIM card.
same goes for Taiwan.
Yeah. So, well, when I don't write it down, I easily forget. Like usually in Denmark, you just type it in something, remember, note, online, note, something,
Yeah.
write a message.
On that note, I think we should go into a commercial break and
Fine.
call
You
the
Call
show
it a
off for
night.
tonight. I want to thank everybody.
Communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.